Something that gets asked a lot is why choose the Ram and the Cummins line over the Ford and Powerstroke and the Chevy Duramax series. And of course there's going to be, if you ask 1,000 people, there's going to be 1,000 different opinions on this, but since I make Dodge videos, I'm going to tell you why I chose the Dodge. So let me start out by saying I've owned all three of the big three American brands. I had a Chevy Silverado 1500 that was lifted, 6-inch body lift. Hold on, there's a cop next to me. It's the weirdest cop, however. It's got no lights or anything on it. Anyway, 6-inch body lift, 3-inch suspension lift on 37s. That truck wasn't bad. It was my first real lifted truck. It was a 2001. But the transmission blew and it had a bunch of issues. The thing I don't like about the Chevys is the interior quality, honestly. Every Chevy I've ever been in, the paint on the buttons is all chipped off, and you know, just the overall quality, like I said, of the interior is usually pretty low. And then in the diesel applications, they haven't been in the diesel game that long compared to Dodge and Ford. So I had a little bit more, not respect for them, but I gave them a little bit more time of day when they had the partnership with Allison transmissions. But since that is over, I really don't have any love for Chevy anymore. I also think they're pretty penny really for what you get. On to Ford. What Ford did I have? I had an F250 Powerstroke. I believe that was like an 04. I had an F150 maybe. I had an F450 work truck, a flatbed work truck, and that wasn't bad. Powerstroke. It was the first year they came out with DEF, so I guess that would be maybe in 2012. You Ford guys correct me. Whatever year they first put DEF on the F series, wasn't a bad truck, honestly. I mean, it was nice that I didn't have to maintain it, but it did have to go back to the dealer quite a bit. I got to be fair to Ford. I think that they have the best body styling from factory. I think Dodge is pretty close behind them, but I gotta be fair, you know. The Ford body styling looks pretty freaking good. I just don't like the interior styling. I'm gonna put a link up here right now. I had an F-150 as a loaner a couple months ago, and there's a video on it that kind of goes over what I feel about it, so you guys can look at that. But just kind of how the interior is laid out is kind of not confusing, but it's just a lot of work. And their sync system, Dodge has the Uconnect, and Ford has a similar system, but there's just a lot to it, and like there's a bunch of information always in your face, and that's fine. It's just when I drove one, I did drive an F250 before I bought my 2014 Cummins, and it was just a lot. I understand it does a lot, but I'm not a huge fan of Microsoft software anyway, and like I said, it was a little bit too in your face for me. That, and with on top of that, the new Powerstrokes are having a lot of trouble with their regen system, and it's we're hearing, and there's in the diesel world there's rumors that the new Powerstroke is having trouble after 50-60,000 miles because of something to do with the regen system. So I don't really want to deal with that. One other thing about Ford is that, again, they charge top dollar for everything, and what you get comparable in a Dodge is debatable whether it's worth it or not. So last but not least, why did I choose the Ram? Well, first of all, brand loyalty. This is my 5th Ram truck, and I've never had any major issues with them. The only reason I've had, not major issues, but the only reason I've had problems with this one is because of the shoddy work performed by 4-wheel parts during my my leveling kit. Speaking of which, as you guys know, the leveling kit and all the front end upgrades on the truck I have now is from Carly, and I knew that I wanted a Carly setup, and Carly only makes suspension components for Ford and Dodge, so that was another reason why Chevy was out of the race. So like I said, with brand loyalty, I bought well, 4 of them from the same dealership and 1 from a dealership in Arizona when I was down there. The Cummins is a huge one. The Cummins is absolutely huge. My work truck is a Cummins. It's got a lot of miles and it runs pretty great. I love the Cummins motor. I wish Chrysler would do a little bit better job on their transmissions. This one has the 6.8, I'm gonna fuck it up, the 6.8 FRE or ASE, so whatever it is, AFE, something like that, I forget off the top of my head, which is the worst of the two. But the ASIN or ASIN transmission I've heard is pretty good, but I don't tow I don't tow heavy frequently with this truck, so and this was a lot truck. It's not one that I'd spec'd custom, so I kind of had to take it what it is. But over time, as we continue the build series, we'll be upgrading the transmission a little bit as well. So hopefully that'll kind of even everything out a little bit. Other than that, like I said, I really like the body styling of the Ram as well. Not particularly when they're stock, but when the truck looks like it does now, like I said, I think they look really, really good. The interior is good for me. It's also what I'm used to, and that's a big one. The systems, the software, all that stuff kind of is what I'm used to dealing with. Also, like I said, when you have a relationship with a certain dealership, it's a lot easier for me to get in. It's a lot easier for me to get, a better loaner car. You guys see they give me usually a Rubicon Jeep to drive, rather than being a brand new customer at some random dealership and getting a Ford Focus or a little Fiesta or something. I'm not really into that. So it's just nice, like I said, it's just nice to have some loyalty if you like a product. And yeah, like I said, it is an emissions truck, but overall, I think value for money, what you get with Dodge is the best. Their paint is kind of cheesy, but again, not everyone can be perfect. But those are my reasons. So, like I said, I'd love to hear your stories below. Let's try to keep it constructive. I've kept it constructive. I haven't talked shit about any brand. So I appreciate you guys do the same, and if you do have an opinion of why something is good or bad, please provide some sort of justification for that, not just, queers drive Chevys or whatever ridiculous statement that you believe. So thanks for watching, guys. We got more fun videos coming, so if you're not subscribed, please do so now. And as always, thanks for watching.
Here we go.
As always, if you made it this far in the video, you are the absolute best. I hope that you enjoyed it. It was an absolute blast making it for you. If you did enjoy it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right in the middle of your screen. I've also put 2 videos here that I think you might like. Throw me a thumbs up, and as always, thank you so much for watching.